Hey guys, hello. Hey, let's give it a moment for the others to join first before we begin. So yeah, today it's Valentine's Day. So I wish every one of you guys happy Valentine's Day. So yeah, Aaron, Charles, Garrick, Jody, Kelvin, Moses, Richard, Neil, Eastway. All of you guys, happy Valentine's Day. All right. Hey, no problem. No problem, Kelvin. Hey, happy Valentine's Day, Jody. Okay, I just got past the hearts to show you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, no problem. All right. Hey, thank you, Neil. Thank you, Kelvin. All right. Okay. So yeah, let us begin. Okay, so today we'll be on welcome to another IC Markets webinar. Hey, good morning, Simon. So today we'll be on trade management, 2 out of 4, going through break-even and partial profit placements. So before I begin, just to show you guys, if you want to sign up for future webinars like this, you can actually go to the IC Markets website. So it's under more, under webinar, and it's on this link. So I'll just send it to you guys. You guys can check it out for future schedules. Hey, good morning, Leon. Okay, let us begin. Okay, I got to read the disclaimer first as usual, so please bear with me. So any information contained in this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. So any opinions shared by guests and speaker of the webinar does not necessarily reflect the opinions or view of IC Markets. Okay, let us continue. So introducing myself. So some of you guys have seen me inside the IC Markets VIP room. I'm always there Monday to Friday. You guys can chat me up. So my name is Chen Yongjing. I'm the trade analyst for Everest Fortune Group. So we are an award-winning research firm. We are also the technical analyst award for the best forex and equity research for 2019, 2020, and 2021. So right now we actually have a special collaboration with IC Markets where we are bringing you guys the good stuff. Okay, next. Okay, later if I have time, Jody, I'll definitely go through a way to have trailing stop loss in MetaTrader 4. So yeah, I got to check whether I have it installed on this setup right here. Okay, just a few topics to cover today. The anatomy of a trade, partial profits, which is very, very important because you never know. You never know for certain that your trade will hit your take profit target. How many partial profits do you need, and when do you break even your trade? So this is a favorite of mine. I'll try my best to break even whenever possible. Okay, next, going through the anatomy of a trade. So I'm sure you guys already know what is the entry. So I'll just go through this very, very quickly. So entry refers to the points where a trader enters the market by opening a trade. So it can be a buy or sell position. So entering the market at the right time is very, very crucial as it can determine the potential success of your trade. Next, stop loss. This is just a quick recap only. So stop loss is a risk management tool that traders like you guys can use to minimize potential losses. So it's an order placed to sell your forex currency that you're trading when it reaches a particular price level. So the idea behind a stop loss is to prevent further losses. Take profit. Everybody should know this already. Take profit is a price level that traders set when opening a trade to lock in your gains. So it will not be a floating gain, it's a definite gain in your account. So it is actually the direct opposite of a stop loss order. It actually instructs the broker to close the trade once price reaches your specific level. So break even. Break even is actually a term used to describe a situation where a trade neither makes a profit nor a loss. So in trading, break even is often used to refer to the point at which a trader's position becomes profitable after the cost associated with the opening and closing of the trade has been taken into account. So break even includes your commission. You have to cover it. If you do not cover your commission, although your trade shows on MT4 0 0 and it's blue color, but you still pay for commission. Okay, next, partial profit. So partial profit is very, very important. Helps you lock in a part of your position while leaving the remainder to run to potentially capture further gains to your final take profit target. So it actually helps a lot with your psychology. Helps a lot with psychology, helps with your mindset, helps to keep your mind off the markets because you have already taken most of your running trades. Only have you and then you set break even. After you take partial, you should then break even. Next, trailing stop. Yes, I know you have that question, Jody, so I'll answer you after this webinar. So trailing stop is a stop loss order that moves as the price moves in favor of the trader's position. So as price continues moving up, the stop loss also continues moving up. Continues moving up every time price moves higher. But the trailing stop loss doesn't move down. So if price reverses back down, it will just hit your so-called break even, closing out your trade. So you would have taken some profits right here. Okay, idea invalidation. No problem, Jody. Idea invalidation is very, very important. So it is when you know that your initial trading idea is no longer valid. I write it down. Trade idea no longer valid. So it can occur due to a change in market conditions or new information that contradicts the trader's original assumption. So it can be things like fundamentals, misinformation, outdated information, irrelevant information that cause you to make that decision, and now your idea is no longer valid. So it can also be due to other than fundamentals, it can also be due to technical terms. So for example, RSI, maybe if you use RSI, if price is above the overbought area, overbought area, and then you are looking for buys, you actually enter a buy position, you somehow enter it right there when price is above, your idea has already been invalidated because overbought position price tends to continue to go lower. So at this point, you should be managing your trade or close out in a minor loss or wait for price to hit your break even level. So any questions so far? Do let me know. Any questions? Feel free to let me know. So yeah, by the way, how is everyone's week been going? So actually notice that tonight there's actually the CPI news event coming up. So let me check it out. It's on Forex Factory. Okay, the USD CPI coming up, so it's likely very, very volatile. We might see a lot of movement in the markets. So if the CPI is better than expected, you can actually expect the United States dollar to continue bearish. Oh yes, definitely in 4 hours time. So Jean has actually wrote a very, very nice article. So I share it with you guys. Jean Dao. Jean actually shared it with me earlier this morning. Let me find that. Where is it? Okay, the US CPI data release preparation. I'll send it to the chat. Feel free to check it out. So it's very, very interesting. He actually has wrote it out for you guys to understand with ease. So he actually asked me to share it with you guys. So if you guys don't mind, please give this post a boost so we can write more free articles sharing his thoughts with you guys. So this is his trading view. Feel free to follow it. Okay, next, let me continue. Where is the... Okay, back. Okay, next, importance of stop loss, take profits, and break even. So definitely stop loss and take profit placement and break even. There are tools that actually help you manage your trades more strategically. So how to properly use these tools help you identify favorable opportunities and acceptable levels of risk. Not only are you systematically protecting your holdings by prioritizing less risky trades, but you are also preventing your portfolio from being wiped out completely. Risk management, very important. You can accept your losses, mitigate your losses, close out without hitting your final stop loss. So it helps you to prevent emotional trading. So at this point, let's say if you are looking for a sell, let's say you are looking for a sell and somehow enter a nice sell upon some kind of overlap resistance area. Then your stop loss is somewhere above stop loss. But if you do not set a stop loss, price continues moving up. So at this point, it would have already hit your original stop loss, but without a stop loss target, you would have actually continued holding your trade. So you do not know when to close. Having a stop loss forces you to close out your trade when you are wrong, preventing further losses from occurring. Okay. So having a stop loss and take profit level sets you boundaries for yourself to be disciplined. Discipline is the very, very important word. Disciplined. Okay. So when trading, as a lot of people actually wipe out or blow their accounts due to impulse trading or revenge trading. So this is why some traders, actually all traders, rely on a preset strategy to avoid trading under stress, fear, greed, or other powerful emotions. So I write this down. Stress, prevent stress, fear, greed, and other powerful emotions. So it's also important to calculate your risk to reward. So it's very, very important to know your risk to reward, at least minimum 1 to 1 risk to reward. Try to aim for at least 1 to 1 risk to reward. So it has to be rational. So you cannot have a negative risk to reward. For example, you cannot risk $100. Just for example, in simple terms, cannot risk $100 just to try to make a profit of $20. So that is not rational at all. So it is a negative, so it's a negative 5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, next. Any questions so far? Let me know. If you guys are in any trades at the moment also, do let me know. But obviously, please try to, exercise caution in the markets at the moment just before the CPI release. So we can likely see a very, very big move up to 100 pips. Okay. Next, let us move on. Actually, yesterday I actually took quite a nice trade on USD CHF. So I actually followed the news. So yesterday, just very, very quick recap. In euro dollar. Okay, you are in a trade. Are you in a buy or are you in a sell? Feel free to send in your chart link. So you're just about, okay, Simon, you're just about to close a buy trade on GBP USD. Well, guys, hey, thank you for sharing. Feel free to send in your chart, your analysis. Maybe you can see it together. So yesterday, let me move back. Okay, yesterday was 13th. Apply. Okay, so yesterday we had the CHF, the CPI. It was actually better than expected. 0.6% versus forecast 0.5%. Previous was negative 0.2%. So definitely this was a very, very good news for CHF. So yesterday I entered a trade right here. Let me find it. USD CHF. Okay, actually just hit my take profit targets. Done. So yesterday I was actually aiming for this relative equal low here on the 4-hour charts. So the news release yesterday happened around here. So I actually took a sell entry. My sell entry wasn't that great. So I'll just turn it dotted so you can see it clearly. So I actually entered upon the first fair value gap. So we actually had a nice fair value gap located right here. Entered right there, took a short position. My stop loss was above. I was risking roughly 27 pips, slightly above just because of the spread. And I was aiming for this swing low right here. So it just hit the take profit targets about 5 minutes ago, less than 5 minutes ago, because of this relative equal low. Okay. Yeah, by the way, rest of you guys, feel free to send in your chart. You can actually copy on the top right hand corner. There's take a snapshot, copy, link to the chart image. You can actually send it over. You can actually send it to the question, send it over. We'll review it together. Okay, next. Moving on. So a quick recap on take profit, stop loss. So if you actually see, so for this, if you actually see relative equal highs, so you should be setting your stop loss slightly beyond the high right there, maybe 5 pips above. 5 to 10 pips above, just in case price wicks up, like in this scenario, to clear, I'm doing a quotation with my hands, with my fingers, quotation, to clear out liquidity. Relative equal high, smart money concepts, you guys will be looking at it as a liquidity hotspot. Price gonna clear that area and then reverse back down. Next, we also have a relative equal low right there. You're expecting the price, for smart money concepts to go down lower before reversing back up, hitting your take profit targets. But most of the time, I usually put my take profit target 1 to 2 pips before the liquidity area, just in case it starts to form more and more relative equal low and did not break the low and continue moving up, just in case of that scenario. Okay, partial profits. Moving on. So partial profits, what is it? What is the definition of it? So partial profits actually refers to the strategy where only a portion of profits is realized. So realized actually means you have taken it out of your position, and it is a strategy that enables investors and traders to lock in gains while still maintaining exposure to potential further gains. So let's say you are in a one lot buy. You buy one lot. Okay, maybe I should buy one lot. Okay, it's messy. It's very, very messy. Clear it out. Buy one lot. So let's say price hits your first take profit target, TP1. You can actually start to close out a bit of your trade. So you can actually close out maybe 0.8 lots. Close it out. Close 0.8 lots. and leave the remaining 0.2 to run 0.2 lots to your final take profit targets. At the very moment, the moment you close that 0.8 lots, you should be actually setting your trade to break even, just in case price goes back down, and potentially actually hit your stop loss. So setting break even, you should be setting your stop loss to be slightly above the entry level. I do apologize for that. My phone just rang. Okay. Okay, Desiree, you actually asked, can you confirm in MetaTrader 4 when we want to close partial profit? You can't put a pending order, it has to be a market execution to close partial. So you can actually, let me just send it over. I don't think I have a MetaTrader 4 installed on this computer. Let me check. Let me search for my MetaTrader 4. Let me check if there is. Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll get back to you later after this webinar together with Jody Chan's question. So at the same time, maybe I'll open up MT4 later on. So let me continue. I don't have a MetaTrader 4 on this computer at the moment. Okay. So partial profits can be taken by selling a portion of your position, closing them out, as I already showed the example right there. So this strategy can be very helpful in reducing your overall risk, especially in volatile markets when there is a risk of sudden price drops. So by taking partial profits, you can reduce the impact of such price drops while still being exposed to potential further gains. Okay, the primary advantage of partial profits, it helps you to secure profits without completely exiting the markets. So this part reduces overall risk in volatile markets. Okay, it's essential to note that partial profits has its own challenges. For example, taking partial profits, you might miss out. This is the cons. You might miss out on further potential gains in the market if price continues to rise after you have closed partial. It can also be challenging to determine the appropriate profit taking level. So you start to think, where should I put my TP1, TP2, TP3? So these profit taking levels varies depend on market conditions, your personal risk appetite, and your personal trading goals. So it varies from trader to trader. Okay, Garrick Van Wyk, they have actually sent in your charts. Let me view it. Let me take a look at it. Okay, so Garrick Van Wyk actually just sent in a trade idea. So I can see that you actually marked out a very, very nice trend line. Price seems to be respecting that trend line, tapping onto it and bouncing further off. So at this very moment, you should at least have 3 taps on your trend line to confirm that it is a strong trend line. At least 3 taps, but from what I see here, your red line, you only have 2 taps. Hey, can everyone hear me? Mic test, mic test. Because someone said they can't hear me. Oh yes. Okay, great, great. Oh, Aaron, I think it might be your speaker. Because the rest can hear, you might want to adjust your volume. Okay, Garrick, please feel free to send your partial, your take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3 areas. While we're actually trading the Euro South African Rand. So it's a very exotic thing that you are trading. So maybe you should add in your take profit, your TP1, TP2, TP3 if required. You want to set break even, what do I think? What do I think about that? Well, With the CPI news coming up, I suggest you set break even first. So yeah, just do note that this is not investment advice. This is what I would personally do just before a major news event. He actually had only two touches at the moment. So if you look very closely, he didn't pull the trend line up. So if you actually marked it out, so maybe I find South African rand. Let me just add it in. Wait, give me a moment. Euro South African rand currency. Okay, euros. Yes, please set break even before the news event. So you are actually on the H4 chart. So just now what I meant by your trend line is not the best because at this moment there's only two touches. This is considered one touch, two touch. One touch, two touch. But if you want it to be a better trend line, you should have at least three touches so you can actually move it higher a bit. Roughly right there, maybe right there. So at least three touches. So I would prefer one touch, two touch, three touches right here. So notice that price is now along the trend line. It might break or it might just continue heading bullish. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, Desiree, you said you learned something new on adjusting your trend line like I did. No, no problem, man, no problem. At least three touches. So for a channel, at least two touches, top and bottom. So just a very quick recap. A flip where's the ascending channel? Where is it? On it, parallel channel. So let's say I want a channel like this right there. So I prefer it to be at least, it must have at least two touches, top and bottom. So in this scenario, one touch, two touch, one touch, two touch. So we actually have three touches. So it's more than enough, more than valid. That's for channel, two touches, top and bottom. Okay, next. Let me move back to the, okay. Okay, so a lot of people do not like to actually take partial. They actually feel that if they are in a trade, they shouldn't take partial. It's actually, they want to either gain nothing, they want to actually gain nothing, set break even. They would rather let the trade break even, don't make anything at all, or take a full take profit. They will never take partial. So it actually differs from people to, or from person to person. So for me, last time I did not like to, hi there Jamilu, good day to you. For last time for me, I personally do not like to take partial profits. I always wanted to, no matter what, it had to hit my take profit target. And what happens if it doesn't? It hit my break even level, and it actually affected my psychology for the rest of the day. So this is a real life example. So in Singapore, we have something called Mokata. So it's actually a steamboat. So I was in a gold trade. I was selling gold, and I was already up quite a lot. So that trade, I was risking 1%. Last time I was risking 1% a trade. So this is the real life example that happened. So let's say $1,000, I was risking 1%, example, $10. So I was risking 1% that trade. And what happened? That trade actually went up to 26% of my account for that one single gold sell that actually happened. I did not want to close my trade. I wanted to make more. I was greedy, wanted to make at least 50% of my account. What happened next? After I ate finish, the steamboat price actually hit break even. Hit my break even. I did not even make anything, did not even make any percentages. This 26% was just gone. I should have took partial, at least 80% of my trade, let the remaining 20% run. but I didn't. Okay, Simon Cooper, if there is doubt on your trade, you should pull out. Why would you leave some in? Well, you're actually reducing your risk in the market. So let me find an example. Let me show you the charts. Okay. So for example, euro dollar. Okay, let me get this euro dollar. Okay, for example, right here, let's say you were in a buy. This is just a theoretical scenario. Let's say you were in a buy somewhere, price was moving up, you enter a buy, your stop loss was right here. Your final take profit, you wanted to take profit somewhere here, where there is the overlap resistance level. So this is your trade take profit area. Why overlap? One tap, two tap, three tap, overlap, price can tap and reverse back down. So this was your potential take profit target. But what happens? You have a intermediary high right here. So I'll put resistance line dotted. So look at this specific area. What happens if you're in a buy? Price could potentially head up, clear that intermediary high right there, reverse back down, have some struggle. So during that struggle, I do not like to watch the market struggle. I do not like to watch the chart struggle to continue higher. So price can actually potentially head down towards your break even instead of your final take profit target as intended. So the moment you spot some sort of intermediary high, some sort of weak resistance level, you can actually set that level as a potential first take profit target. So I'll just write it out. Intermediary high potential take profit 1. Okay. So I'll just add this text in. Where's the text? Okay, is it called? Okay, just in case price reverses back down. So for me, I just example close 80% of running trade. Okay. So if this situation continues going up, hits your final take profit target, you would have 80% close at intermediary high, then 20% runners hit final take profit targets. So this is an example of how you can actually set take partial. So the moment price hit your take profit 1, you should set break even. Set trade to break even. Okay. So I'll screenshot this down and send it to the chat. So that is an example. Okay. Okay, Simon, you said you agree with me, but when you get into a dotted line and don't feel the trade is behaving as what you want, you would close the full trade and look for another. Well, honestly, most of the time that's what I do too. Also, so normally when I have a I have a intermediary high, some kind of resistance level, most of the time I would have already closed out my trade. So yeah, rarely I actually close partial and leave the remaining to final take profit. Most of the time I'll just observe, and if I do not want my psychology to be hit, I do not want to be affected, I'll just, close out the full trade, wait for another day, wait for tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. There's always opportunities in the markets. Hey, no problem, Simon. Okay, Kevin actually sent a chart in. Let me check it out. Okay, it was your euro trade. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, entering. Okay, you actually have a chart right there. Okay, that is a very, very good trade. Wow. Wow, congrats, man. So he actually took a buy at the very bottom. He has already set his trade to break even. And he's looking for final take profit right there. So that's a very, very good profit placement also. I actually noticed that you marked out the previous overlap resistance level. So you are expecting price to probably reject back down from there. So yeah, that's a nice level. Very, very good. Do you mind sharing how you actually entered the trade on the 1 minute? You know, it looks like you entered on the 1 minute charts, 1 minute or 5 minute charts. Feel free to send it in. That's very good. Okay. Next, let me move on. So when do you break even? So it's okay. Just now I already explained. A break even used to describe a situation where a trade neither makes take profit. Important concept for traders to understand, helps you to determine the points at which a trade becomes profitable. So when you set break even, just be reminded that you have to cover the cost of entering the position, the commission level. So for your entry, buy entry, and then you have your break even. So your break even level should optimally be at least 1 to 2 pips above your entry level, just to cover the commission. So I've seen some people, they actually like to put 5 pips above just to make some money at least, and also to cover the commission. Okay, next. Okay, for example, if a trader buys a stock at $50 and the cost of entering the trade is $2. So your break even point, so I'll just put BE, break even, your break even point is at $52. So if the stock price rises to $55, rise to $55, the trader's profit would be $3 per share. So it's calculated by the difference between the current price and the break-even price. So $3 profit. Okay, Darren O'Shea, that's a very, very good question. That's a very, very good question. So he actually said, so when using a break-even, putting it too early, you lose the room to move in the trade. What percentage of your take profit would you suggest? So I do not set break even very, very early. So if price actually moves towards my direction, at least towards the high right there, let's say it already broke the high, this scenario, already broke the high at this moment, I would have already set break even, taken partial. Usually set break even is very, very subjective, to each to their own. I've seen traders, I've seen my friends set break even when price moves 10 pips above their entry. Immediately set break even. They do not mind if the trade comes back down and closes out their trade, but they have some set rules. Above 10 pips, break even. Some kind of market structure shift, break of structure, they immediately set break even also. Yes, definitely. There's no exact percentage. It's very, very it differs a lot from trader to trader. Okay, you are relying on price action. Yep. Okay. So it's very, very essential overall to help you make informed decisions about your trades, helps you to manage risk and protect your capital. Okay, that's about it for break even. More or less, you guys understood it. I'm hoping that you guys understood it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Feel free to let me know. Feel free to ask me. Okay, break even. Just now I was supposed to draw here. Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe I should do a example on combining break even with idea invalidation. So I'll be doing BE and idea invalidation. Okay, let's say you took a buy, price goes up, somehow you actually entered a buy limit order, price continues to move up. Moving up, we have some take profit, a TP target, but just before your take profit target, what happens? Price comes back down, causing a break of structure. So at these points, you can move your take profit target. Can move your take your SL slightly above your buy, including your commissions, just in case price comes back down, and you do not lose any money, and you also paid for the commission. Idea invalidation is very important. So as I mentioned again, you can actually use the MACD. So some of you guys like to use MACD. So we have some MACD crossover that actually happened. So the moment you see the MACD crossover, you can actually set your trade to break even or RSI above the overbought area immediately, set to break even. So there's many trading strategies that you guys are actually using. You have to find out what works for you when you know the trade is going wrong based on your own trading strategy, trading analysis. Okay, next, let me see what's this. Okay, so you are actually aiming for an entry right there at the very bottom for price to clear the previous swing low area. Okay, and then price, you have your stop loss slightly below the previous intermediary low right there. Take profit target at the high there, expecting price to likely sweep the liquidity. And you also have a partial profit target because of this overlap resistance area. So you're looking to partial profit right there, indicated right here. Partial profit entry. So once price hits your partial profit level, you should have been taking out a portion of your trade, setting your stop loss to be slightly above your entry level, and then just in case price does like what it did in this example, price actually went back down, clearing out your trade, potentially hitting your original stop loss right there. So that's the reason why taking partials is important, setting break even it's important. Okay, next. Okay, let me find more examples. Any more questions so far? Let me know any more questions. Okay, let me just take a look right here. Okay, just now I understand some of you guys are Desiree and who's the other? Jody. Ask, is there a way to put the trailing stop loss in MetaTrader 4? Well, I do not have an MT4 right here, so I can answer your question privately if you want. MT4. I remember there's a page I did send someone before trailing SL how to set it. It only works for MetaTrader desktop version. So here is your answer. I'll just send it to the chat. I'll also answer you directly. Okay, send to all. Next is you actually want to close partial. Okay, for mobile version, there's a way to close partial. So when the trade is running, so I actually do not have a running trade at the moment to show you. Okay, I do not have it at the moment. Well, never mind. Okay, Okay, I do not have a MetaTrader 4 that I can show you. Partial close. I have to send a link to you. Okay. Partial. Okay, it's okay, Desiree. I'll get back to you later. So, Jody, I've just answered your question already. Okay. So Desiree actually asked, you have been doing market execution to close partial, but stressful waiting rather than set it and not think about it if it can be done, then I'll Google it out. Yeah, feel free to Google it out first, because I do not have a MetaTrader 4 here that I can actually show you. So yeah, definitely closing partial actually helps you with your stress that you are actually having. So you can try it out, taking partial profits at maybe, as I mentioned in this example right here, closing partial at your intermediary high, just in case price reverses back down towards your break-even level. So maybe I should show you once price hits up towards the intermediary high, stop loss set slightly above, that would be your break-even. Okay, same thing, I'll just screenshot. I'll screenshot this example so you guys do not have to. Okay, feel free to save the image down. Okay, next, let me find another example of taking partials. Maybe I add more, maybe partial 1, take profit 1, take profit 2 or 3. So let me find an example. Okay. AUD. Okay. Okay, maybe an example right here on the New Zealand dollar, if you are looking for sales. So maybe at this very first low right here, this very low swing low, this very first swing low right there. Let's say you took a sell somewhere up there, sell position, stop loss above the recent high. And then the previous low right there could also be your second take profit target. Okay, I should change it to green supports dotted. Okay, and then your final take profit target could potentially be at this very, very last major swing low that actually occurred on the January 6th earlier this year. I'll just mark it out potential take profit 1, potential take profit 2, and your final take profit. So yeah, if you're looking for sales, yeah, potentially you can actually close out maybe 20% of your trade right there. Close out 20%. Take profit target 2, close out 50%, leave the remainders to run, final take profit, 30% runners. Okay, so actually it actually differs from trader to trader. For me personally, I like to close out 80% of my trade at my first take profit target, leave the remaining 20% to run. It helps a lot with my psychology. Okay, so let me screenshot it down. Okay, so I type it out, example of take profit 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so yeah, by the way, have you guys already boosted it? Just now I asked you guys to boost it already, so please boost it. Jean wants to see some form of, hey, Jean is there. Hey, hi. Jean is just beside me. So yeah, please give him the support by boosting his post. He actually put a lot of time and effort writing it for free for you guys to read up. for you guys to digest. Okay. Next, any more questions? Any more questions before I end this webinar? Any more questions? Desiree, any more questions? Jody? Any more questions? Simon? Kevin? So I actually noticed that just now someone said they entered a trade on GU. Yeah, Simon, feel free to send in your charts. So I think just now Garrick Van Wyk has already sent in his charts. If you want, you can send in your chart. We can share it. We can analyze it together. Okay, so yeah, I'll give you guys another minute or so to ask any further questions. Okay, just before I end this webinar. So Desiree, you actually said you like to think how to scale in more lots, but it seems not easy. Well, do you mean that you actually want to increase your lot size? Do you mean that? You okay? All right. So I'll actually be going to be taking it easy for the rest of the night, maybe until after the CPI release. So Desiree actually said that you mean by adding in at the right levels if the trade goes in the right direction. So do you mean by, okay, you want to add more trades in, you want to stack your trades? Oh, okay, you want to stack your trades? Well, for me, I would not try to stack my trades. Most of the time I actually lose my trades, and it affects my psychology a lot if I continue stacking a trade. Okay, Darren, you said thanks for the effort. One question, what hours are you trading sessions? Well, I usually trade the London session and the New York session. So I usually trade from, I'll just send it to the chat, from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. Also from 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. to roughly 11 a.m. New York time. So yeah, if there are no further questions, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today. Okay, so thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Darren O'Shea. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Dang Pam An. Thank you, Ed Agawa. Thank you, Garrick Van Wyk. Thank you, Griff Gurry. Thank you, Henny Chandra. Thank you, Hosea Akurut. Thank you, Jamilu. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, Kevin Kimimia. Thank you, Luca Vangelisti. Thank you, Mark Carpenter. Hey, thank you, Moses. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Robin Shekel. Thank you, Rojin. Hey, and thank you, Simon. Thank you, Tabitha Kanye. Thank you, Yan Cheong. Hey, no problem, no problem. So I'll see you guys again soon in the next webinar. So any further questions, feel free to ask me in the IC Markets VIP chat room. So yeah, feel free to send your chart analysis in the VIP chat room, in the chit chat. I'll be looking at it later. Okay, see you guys. Take care trading and goodbye.